What is up, legends? It's your boy Sion. We are back with some more Counter-Strike. So, I got a message from a fan who plays this game along with his buddies and his guild, and they was like, "Dude, we're getting BurnOut. You like level 48, and like you grinding, and that's misleading. That's really misleading because I'm not really grinding. It's just that I played this game so much, I just know how to level efficiently, and I showed you guys that before in the past, so we're not even gonna talk about that right now. That's the reason why I'm 48 and characters are maxed and everything else is just I've played it enough to know better at this point. It's not really a hard thing to do. So with that said, the reason why we are talking about this today in this video is that people are suffering burnout, and I don't want people to suffer burnout, so I'm going to talk about stuff that you can do while you're waiting in between content. All right. So this game, you can play it a number of different ways. But ultimately, you will end up down. So the only thing that's really left for you to do is grind out power of characters and PvP. Me personally, I'm not that interested in the PvP, which is why you don't see me high ranked. So like I do like 3 or 4, maybe 5 matches a day, and then I'm done. I don't grind it all day. I kind of don't really care to grind it all day because it doesn't interest me. If I could control them like it was like a League of Legends type of thing with WASD and we just run around with some sexy characters that do badass stuff, I would be more interested. But I'm not interested in placing a character down just to stun somebody and watch them run amok over the screen and I can't do anything but watch it. That's not fun to me. So that's why I just usually do like a few and then be out of there. So if anybody ever wonders why I don't be like 3,000 in my ranking and all that type of stuff with my points and gauntlet, is because I don't care to be that high. It's not a show of skill to me. Now to other people that might be the reason why they want to play the game, and by all means go for it, because I want people to play this game and support this game, and I want this type of game with this much quality to be in the forefront so that all the idle bullshit that we keep getting thrown in our face. Now, when it comes to what you want to actually do and how to keep yourself from burnout, for me, a good way to do that, like I showed you guys in the previous video again, is to micromanage your world map. Try to make it so that all of this stuff is constantly cooling down and that you're opening up. Like you see, I have a dive right there that I need to do. All this stuff is constantly cooling down, so you're opening up raids and you're coordinating with your friends and your peoples to actually get a lot of raid gear. That'll save you some time, that'll get you some good gear on stuff that you can use to pretty much become OP and do kind of whatever you want in the game. Technically, which I've done in the past on the other servers, is I got like all the way to end game without ever really caring about gear. I was just doing the skills and the characters. So once you start worrying about gear, global side, well, this is just SEA, this right here. But once you start worrying about it in English over here, you start becoming really strong and making some really interesting builds on characters. And that's just one of the little minor things. If you micromanage this all day, this will keep you busy if you have other people with you micromanaging all day. So what I basically mean by micromanaging is farming. So you can either do 1 hour or 4 hour, depending on how much time that you have to actually still micromanage. Let's say you have time in between working from home, because most people are working from home. So you would just send them out on exploration and make sure that you have enough of standby stuff, teams that you can actually send out people on exploration. So you probably, in my opinion, even though it might cost a little bit of currency, you're probably going to need to open up 4 through 7. To have 4 teams for the 4 areas, just in case it all ends up places that you have to send out characters. You even if you're not a massive pay to win person, you still have enough characters or individual characters to go up to 7 teams, maybe 6. 7 might be a little bit pushing, but I think by now everybody should have enough, even with the gray units, to put out a full 7 team. And remember, you don't have to have a max team to actually really do it. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to send these guys out. My main teams are right here, and also I guess let you see what's going on. Everybody, you see Evelyn, she's already maxed I'm working on Hildy right now. Eins and so they're going to be 106 by default because of the battle pass, and then after I work on Hildy, we're going to go to Elizabeth, then Kyle. Then I have to worry about what I'm going to do with the end. I'm probably going to, what I do is called the trickle down effect. This is another thing that could help you with burn down. As I move people out of the starting lineup, they get pushed down to the second lineup, the second team, which is why we have Shifuya and Yumi down here. They used to both be in the starting, but now they're down here. The same thing with Shiyun, and the same thing with Claudia. Then I have Karen, who I got here, who she just never got to be in the starting lineup. Karen, second team, and we have to work on leveling her. Lee Jin is a easy, what I would call, she's pretty much an easy character to put maxed because she's one of the characters that you can actually farm, and she's a good nuke character on top of that. So you just keep that in mind. Then I have Esther Rosa, who just kind of ends up being like the unfortunate character because she didn't get any dupes. So she's just here. She's super strong and in this team. And then finally we have Yumina, who's probably going to eventually be forced out because she's one of the Generation 1 characters, and you really don't get much dupes of her right now. So she's eventually going to get forced out, which is going to be a problem for her because, you know, like eventually you're going to have well, she'll end up like in one of these teams where I just don't use them, like where Benedict is, and these are just all characters that I don't use. So Yumina is probably going to end up right here, and this is just random. And unfortunately for Orca, Orca is kind of hard to farm without actually using the red orbs, and I don't want to use the red orbs on her, so she just ends down here. And I just got Heroin, like, so I'm going to eventually get her somewhere. She's probably going to end up over here in the place of Yumina, which is super useful. I just haven't got around to it because you need resources for that, and you don't have resources all the time like that in this game unless you're paying for it. I don't pay for everything in this game. Like, only if I need, like, if I seen something like for my birthday, literally I went and got Hilda for my birthday. Basically, and I can't even say for my birthday. It was luck. I paid for a pack, and she happened to come out for me paying for the pack. So that's like a rare instance. I don't normally do that in games, so just to keep that in mind. So now that we explained that a little bit, we can go in here, put that right there. I'll deal with the dive later because it's not what this video is about. So we snatch this. Hopefully we'll get something out so I can send out to people. No, we did not. This is office work, so that's fine. So we're gonna do that and hope for something else to pop out. Nothing here. More office work. Again, I'm gonna be here in an hour, so we're gonna do that. And we did get one. It's only level 60 because this is a level 4 area, so I'm gonna send this out to people. Alright, so let's head in there. This is a mining, no EXP on this one. I want EXP because I want them to level. This is a great reward, and it's an S, so we're gonna send you here. And yeah, so you just pretty much come back in an hour and farm this and hope for something else to actually pop out. Now, I know this seems a little bit tedious, but it's kind of worth it because you end up with a lot of raid gear for all of your characters, and it's super useful. Alright, let's snatch all of this. Cool. This is also the entry, the opening day of the week. So all of this good stuff is right here. We're going to snatch this too. Alright, so also know one thing I'll do. One of the reasons why I level faster is I do this every day too. Because you end up with two rounds of Eternium being cheap. And you see I don't have them anymore because I used them already. for today, and that is basically super useful in helping you level faster. You also, if you want to be a casual and spend a little bit, you want to actually get the monthly. I believe there's 1 or 2 monthly packs. I got both monthly packs, and that's kind of like it. That's usually what I do in these type of games. I get like the kind of minor subscription, and it pretty much helps out. And as you can see, I'm building it up because I'm not using it. And like if there's a pack, I mean, if there's a skin that comes along that I need, or if I'm missing like one piece of gear for, or not gear, one piece for my ship or something like that, I'll do that. But for the most part, I'm getting that to save it for something else, just in case something comes along, so I don't have to worry about spending on it later. You don't necessarily get the green administration tokens to spend them right away. Well, some people I guess would, but I'm using them basically for emergency purposes, or if I actually get something that I need to use somewhere. And then lastly, you have what you want to go along with what your team is. Me personally, I think that the front line of your team needs to be strong, which means that it's going to be your tank, or it's going to be whoever the DPS is behind the tank. For me, obviously, it's going to be Hildy and Yumi, and then behind them will be Elizabeth, Kyle, put it in rather than just Yesser. And see, we Fiona's basically maxed already too. She's team 3's tank, and you have pretty much everyone. What should be Shifuya, Shen, Xiaolin. Like, just you want to just make sure that you go down the line and you start maxing everybody. So you see, what I've basically done is, because I think Evelyn is like one of the best characters in this game. She shouldn't even be a purple character for the amount of healing that she does and DPS at the same time. It's just. And the fact that you can get her to 110 so easily on top of that. So the same thing with Fiona. Fiona's one of the good tanks. She can actually shield and heal on top of that, and pushes the same way that Hildy does, and she's a blue unit and super easy to get to 110 as well. Then you have Hildy, Elizabeth, Einsline, which is pretty much battle pass if you feel the need to go after battle pass. Battle passes usually happen every month, so we're gonna get another one when this one runs out. It's almost up. You have Yumi, if you actually got Yumi, who she's not gonna be next as far as fusion. That's probably gonna be Elizabeth, and then I just have to go down the line. I believe I have a dupe of Kyle, so Kyle might get one. Then we have Yang. Yang is super useful. If you don't have Yumi or Hildy and you don't care for Fiona, you do have Benedict, who is just as easy as Evelyn to get the 110. You can make use of him. Ryan is also easy to get the 110 because you can farm for him. Essentially, you can make carry characters out of these people, and I strongly suggest you do it. Well, I got to do those. Assimilation, I forgot about them. Make sure you do that too. I'm glad I looked at that because I might have forgot for the day. Every character here can get the 110 easily if you can farm it. You see, and you pretty much have Arius right here, who's a really good healer maxed, and you can get her to 110. So you pretty much have a 110 healer who can shield and heal at the same time when you have her skills all the way up to 5, all the way across the board. But you can farm her. And secondary effect is if you want to use Seirama or Irie, you can max them too. And then you have the soldiers here as well. Ooh, the soldiers and the mechs if you want to go ahead and work on your mech team or something like that. So you head up to here, and you could Benedict, who's a 110 tank that you could farm as well, again with the Eternium, which is again one of the reasons why I'm ranked 48. You also have Claudia right here. Claudia is very useful, as you guys can see, an easy character to max. So both of these characters are easy to get to 110, and you can get them here farmed easily. Then you also have all these characters right here. So a lot of people ask me why I have a lot of gold, and one of the reasons is this, because I don't necessarily need all these units, so this basically end up getting sold or turned into imprint. So like my entire squad be max imprint without using much resources, and I could just field like a 110 blue team if I really wanted to. So it kind of like it's a double-edged type of thing, and then you do end up getting some parts to actually farm for your gear, but this is a slow grind when it comes to that. If you want to actually farm gear better, you have to actually do the pointed ones towards the particular gear instances. And then you have the event stuff that's here, which also leads to more gold. Plus all of these that is going to drop. It's going to drop high appraisal and normal appraisal, which is for your leveling. But then again, you're also getting gold. So like I said, this is really good. Probably one of the better farms in the game when it comes to just maxing all your team. And if you want to go after, I think it's on Reaper or Spear? No, Spear. And this is Fiona right here. This is pretty much how I got Fiona up to there, because I was farming on ATB 1B Spear for my mech unit. So I ended up getting maxed out on Fiona. And it's kind of like a GG. Now, if you want to farm directly more for, as you can see, for gear type of stuff, you can do that here. And while you're farming for the raid, getting more stuff, and then you have all of these that you can actually farm the accessory bowls, so you can get your T5 gear on all of your units. After you're done pretty much with character stuff, you could probably just move over to that and start maxing that, and eventually you're going to be done with both talent and military supply, which is literally what I'm at the point of right now, and you can slowly start focusing on riot and investigation. And eventually, probably by like in a month, I won't need to do any of these. Like, it'll all be done, and I can just go out into like the mainstream and farm kind of like whatever I want, or just go somewhere and just waste my energy and just make like characters. In a month, you literally, if you're doing the stuff that I'm doing right now, you won't have to do any of this anymore. It'll just, as soon as a new character comes along, you're just gonna be like, oh, new character, wop, maxed out, done, go about your business, go back to farming. And that should help you out. That should help you out, especially if you're trying to figure out what to do and things that are a little bit burnt out and you just want to go after characters. This also helps you when new events come along, that your team will be so strong, which is kind of what happens in KR, that you just be able to smash the events, because events are going to get harder. They're going to get harder. Right now, we're just kind of like looking at them like, what is this? And just kind of like plowing through them, but they are going to get harder. They're going to be like extreme versions. So just prepare yourself now for that. And so, yeah. So that's all I really got for you guys right now. That's what I'm doing. This lovely lady right here, Lee. I'm probably going to be building her too, and putting her some team. I'm gonna figure out how to put her somewhere, maybe even into the first lineup, and put her somewhere interesting, because I'm gonna have leftover resources to put characters somewhere. So yeah, he'll be looking at me like, why ain't nothing but chicks up here? You're suspect. That's a suspect looking face. So I'll catch you guys later. Be legendary and good luck to you, and hopefully that helps you with the burnout. Peace. Thanks for watching another video by me, Scion Storm. If you like what you see here, please by all means like, subscribe, share with all your friends. It really helps me out, and I appreciate everybody who stops by. One love and be legendary. Peace.